obviously always a good action-packed weight class. Both guys have identical records, and I'm sure this is going to be a fight for the fans.
And then in our co-main event, we've got two really heavy hitters here. We've got the debut of Antonio Martinez in the pro ranks versus J.W. Kaiser. And what's your thoughts on that?
This is a heavyweight fight, and I think everyone knows what to expect in heavyweight fights. It's big power punches and possibly a short finish.
All right, so a total of 12 fights tonight for Kansas City Fighting Alliance number 28. And we look forward to joining you with all of the action.
For all those watching on MMAFutures.com.
arms tight to his chest so he doesn't get him isolated, but in doing so, it looks like he's giving it up here, and the tap.
Brian Harris making quick work of Jason Kaiser here in the first round. Brian Harris, a glory standout, looking to improve his amateur record as he just picks up his victory, and hopefully we see more improvement from him in the future.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, you're too loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 57 seconds of the first round. Your winner by submission via armbar out of the red corner, Brian Harris.
All right, first fight of the night done in under a minute. Brian Harris picking up the victory via armbar over Jason Kaiser, and now we're going to move to the second fight of the night.
About that. Bout number 2 brought to you by Don's Barbershop, located on 23rd Street next to Aldi's. Get faded at Don's Barbershop. Your fighter out of the blue corner, please welcome Joshua Walker.
Joshua Walker coming out with looks like a whole town of people in his corner here.
He does have quite a few supporters. Looks like he's getting his final instructions from Mike England, world-renowned referee.
Veteran referee in the Kansas City area. I believe he's worked 98% of all Kansas City mixed martial arts fights. Could be a made-up stat, but definitely feels like it's legit.
Please welcome, fighting out of the red corner, Jacob Clary.
Joshua Walker and Jacob Clary. This fight will be in the 140-pound division. Again, this is an amateur fight.
Your fighter out of the blue corner, Joshua Walker, and fighting from the red corner, Jacob Clary.
I like it. Quick introduction by the announcer. Let's get right to the fighting.
Mike England making sure that they get the glove touch right. Gotta love that.
Well, you know, at the amateur level, you got to get the details down before you can turn pro.
Absolutely.
Joshua with a big right hand. Another big
one.
overhand. Oh, huge right hand. Now some ground and pound by Joshua Walker. This one could be done quick. And it is. In under a minute, we have Joshua Walker with the TKO victory.
That was a fast one. Once he landed that very first right hand, it didn't look like Jacob Clary wanted anything else to do with that.
Yeah, that right hand definitely was landing multiple times for him, and it looked like Mike England was erring on the side of caution because Joshua had him there in the ground and pound and didn't look like he was going to stop anytime soon.
It looks like Clary is protesting the stoppage. I believe. I think a lot of referees really rely on that statement of intelligently defending yourself. And although he did have his hands up and he was defending from the punches, he wasn't trying to advance his position there. So I think that's a good stoppage.
Definitely. At the amateur level, this is when you have to worry about their health and safety. And, these are fights, but they don't matter in the grand scheme of things. At the professional level, that's when you need to worry about stoppages. This is when you're just trying to get better.
Your winner by TKO via submission with strikes out of the blue corner, Joshua Walker!
All right, 2 fights in and under 2 minutes of action. We are getting right to the violence as the crowd is looking to enjoy their beverages and enjoy the great night of fights.
For bout number 3, presented by Sterling Bowl, your full-service bowling center with food and drink on the corner of 24 Highway and Sterling. Out of the blue corner, Dakota Pulse.
All right, here we got Dakota walking out.
Although some of these earlier on fights are going to be short, I think that this is probably pretty typical for your local regional show. They usually fill the beginning portion of the card with newer fighters, amateurs that are just really getting into the sport. And with that come quick finishes. It's hard to really tell how good these guys are, so you do tend to end up with mismatches sometimes. And that's to no fault to the matchmaker. These are just hard guys to match up because you don't know much about them. As these guys work their way through their career, they'll be matched a lot more accordingly.
Well, while we're waiting for both fighters to enter into the cage, talk us a little bit about your early days. Was there a lot of nervousness when you were in the early part of the fight card, or what was your mindset in these early days of your amateur career?
Oh, but my early days were the wild, wild west. There was barely any commissions. Actually, Mike England has refereed me several times here in Missouri, although I am from Nebraska. I did fight here a lot. The landscape is much different nowadays. It's much more controlled. And back then it was, there was guys fighting 2 and 3 times in one weekend, and it's much safer now for sure.
Definitely. As the sport continues to evolve, we're definitely getting safer, and we're definitely having more people look out for the safety of these fighters, because like you said, at the amateur level, that is the most important thing, getting better and also staying safe.
Absolutely. And with that do come quick finishes, because the referees are definitely are looking to protect these guys early on. You don't want them to blow their wad or hurt their brains or their chins this early on in their career.
And your fighter, fighting out of the red corner, Matt Mattingly.
Matt Mattingly out of the Glory MMA gym. Got a chance to actually work out with Matt. Very good, accomplished wrestler. Wrestled a little bit in college. Very good in the clinch and also the transitions on the scramble. So look for him to use that as a strength as he makes his way into the cage.
Well, under the tutelage of the great James Krause. I'm absolutely positive that he's ready. It's a great gym and an even better name.
Yes.
Matt Mattingly. How awesome is that?
The alliteration is awesome.
I hope he doesn't think that I'm poking fun at him. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
All right, Matt Mattingly's from Lee Summit, Missouri, and Dakota Pulse is from Bethany, Missouri. Both local.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's always fun when you get the local guys to enjoy a nice scrap.
Fighters for bout number 3. Out of the blue corner, Dakota Pulse. And your
Really enjoying the announcer just getting right to the bare minimum. Just say the name and let's get to the fights.
I am too. I like it. Especially in my fights, I hate the long, drawn-out announcements. Let's just, what's their names and let's go.
Exactly. Interesting choice there. Matt, again, going to that wrestling that he's known for.
Dakota goes right to a triangle here. Matt seems to be out, though.
Big shots landed early by Matt.
Dakota Pulse looks to be pretty crafty on the ground. It looks like he bumped and is trying to get a back take here.
The end of the fight. Mike England, there he is, stopping the fight. Rear naked choke. Matt Mattingly picking up his second victory in the amateur ranks.
Matt right here gets his other hook in. Softens him up with the punches, and as he's spinning, slips the arm under the neck right here. Squeezes, and I can't quite see if he tapped or what happened there. I couldn't quite see. Either way, he was stuck and he wasn't going anywhere, that's for sure.
I think, again, Mike erring on the side of caution, stopping the fight, making sure that these amateur fighters are able to get out of the cage in one piece.
And here we are for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 1 minute and 21 seconds in the first round. Your winner via submission via rear naked choke out of the red corner, Matt Mattingly. And for bout number 4, brought to you by Modelo. Our concession is packed full of ice-cold Modelo, the beer brewed for those who fight for better. Out of the blue corner, Jesse Woodruff.
Jesse Woodward with a lot of support here. by UFC light heavyweight Anthony Smith.
Fighters for bout number 4. Out of the blue corner, Jesse Woodruff.
Both guys look anxious to fight.
Philip White.
Quick announcements, and we are off. You can guarantee a solid glove touch here from Mike England.
Both guys, in comparison to the other fights, definitely have a lot of nervous energy as they're about to start this fight. And here we go. Oh, a huge head kick caught by Jesse, looking for a takedown. Now we got a standing guillotine. Philip still working for a standing guillotine.
That looks tight. If he can circle his own back off the cage.
Oh. Jesse fighting for survival here, and as they go to the ground,
that looks
Philip
tight.
Still holding on to this guillotine.
And
that's the tap. Oh, and we see that maybe that's how Philip got his black eye, by headbutting the cage, and he wanted to let us know that he is proud of his victory.
Philip White with the quick and early guillotine. Right here he falls. He's on his left hip. And right there he's got it. And the tap.
Definitely interesting to see that he had the standing guillotine and just followed it down to the cage. It wasn't one of the things where he had to look for a regrip. He basically just held it on as they fell to the ground.
Yeah, he had it right away. He had it almost immediately. The problem was he just had his own back stuck on the cage. So once he was able to get his own back off the cage, fall down, wrap the leg, put on that big squeeze, and that was it.
How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 41 seconds of the first round. Your winner via submission by guillotine out of the red corner, Philip White. Bout number 5, we have something a little different for tonight. A grappling match presented by McCarthy Auto Group. View the new 2018 inventory at any of the McCarthy locations throughout Kansas City metro area. The blue corner, Kara Coy.
All right, now we're going to take a step out of the MMA action and get into a grappling match. As the announcer mentioned, this is going to be Kara Coy versus Jordan Ash. And again, this is a grappling only match, so you will not be seeing strikes, kicks of any kind. It will be purely grappling.
Welcome your fighter out of the red corner, Jordan Ash.
Jordan Ash, another Glory MMA and fitness product, going up against Kara Coy, who's a St. Joseph Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student. St. Joseph Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu head instructor Derek Ripley.
Again, for bout number 5, presented by McCarthy Auto Group, out of the blue corner, Kara Coy. And out of the corner, Joe.
All that, I'd imagine we're going to get a hand touch, and we're going to run.
Again, two fantastic schools being represented here with Glory and St. Joseph Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Kara pulling guard early. What's the benefit of doing that, Anthony?
If you're not a good wrestler, you can almost dictate the position that you want to be in right away without being taken down and possibly passed in the process. Looks like Jordan's passing right to a Kimura. She's going to go right to mount. And can't quite. Looks like she's almost got it behind her back already, though.
Big grimaces coming from Kara.
Yeah, she's working hard to keep that arm from being isolated. Looks like she's got it almost to her hip, and she needs to get to her. She needs to get on her right side so she can protect herself. Jordan's doing a good job of keeping her body turned away from her.
And keeping really good composure as she's working for the submission. Oh, and that is deep. There it is.
It's really impressive how Jordan attacked the Kimura and passed at the same time. You don't see that very often.
Well, as we keep going, we've got fast submissions, fast stoppages. We have a lot of action already. 5 fights in.
This bout has ended at 1 minute and 1 second of the first round. Your winner by submission by Kimura, out of the red corner, Jordan Ash.
All right, folks. I would assume that we're gonna see some longer fights, as we move our way on.
Into these first 5 matches. I hope you didn't blink, or else you might have missed something. Submissions and TKOs, pretty incredible. Tonight we have an intermission now, so please head out to the concession snack. Bear with me.
All right, we're going to get into an intermission. Again, 5 fights already happened. Very quick, action-packed. As the announcer mentioned, you do not want to blink. Anthony, not too much to break down here, but like you mentioned, with the early fights, you're going to get a lot of early stoppages. Pretty typical with a regional show. But as you mentioned, the next batch of fights here should be a little bit longer. Again, all these fights should be evenly contested. And what are you expecting out of this next batch of fights here?
I would expect obviously longer fights. They're going to be a little bit more competitive and better matched just because there's more information on the fighters. And you're just going to see guys that are a little more skilled. As each fight happens, you're going to see guys that are continually better. They're going to, as we work our way down the card, they're going to be more technical. They're going to be better conditioned. And that's just how it works. Even as you go look at UFC cards, and you can see it a lot at the beginning of the cards. It's usually the newer guys. The guys are a little bit greener. And the fights aren't always as good as the main card fights, and this is no different. So I think as we work our way through the night, I think you're going to see better fights, and that's just how the fight game works.
So 5 more amateur fights, and then we've got 3 pro fights for you. Again, those are going to be J.W. Kaiser versus Antonio Martinez, Jacob Aiken versus Joe Estrada, and in our main event, Jose Martinez taking on Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez. That main event, I tell you what, that in my eyes is going to be the fight of the night. Jose Martinez, very good at submissions, has a very impressive win streak. Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez is a Kansas City MMA icon in my opinion. Still very young, but has a very rich history in terms of fighting here in Kansas City, and I expect him in front of his hometown crowd to really put on a great show.
Oh, absolutely. Sharkbait has been around a long time, and these guys have identical records, and I always love fights like that. You're really going to find out who has the tougher fights. And the 145-pound division, you know, even as far as the UFC goes, and working your way down, you know, to the regional scene is just action-packed. And I love watching the 145-pounders and the 155-pounders fight. It's just a lot of fun. And obviously the heavyweights, I'm always excited to watch heavyweights throw down. Those guys are a lot of fun, and I think I'm just like everyone else. I like knockouts. So I'm hoping we're to see an action-packed main event and a heavyweight go to sleep.
Yeah, the interesting thing about both Antonio Martinez and Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez is this is their first fight of the year. As we get to the midway point, Antonio coming off of injury. Anthony actually is dabbling a little bit into pro wrestling. He's been doing a lot of pro wrestling this year, getting back to the MMA side of his professional fighter gimmick, as they say. So again, should be very fun to see him get back into the cage. Kansas City, Independent specifically, is nothing new for him as far as fighting in front of these fans. His last fight was very impressive. Leg kicks galore. Turned the guy's leg basically into raw meat by the time the fight was over. I would expect tonight for him to, again, land a lot of leg kicks. And as I mentioned, Jose Martinez, very good with submissions, so definitely should be interesting. Another fight we'll touch on real quick here is Jacob Aiken, Joe Estrada. Jacob Aiken, another Kansas City MMA fighter that's had a ton of fights against the likes of an Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez and an LC Davis. Very experienced, taking on Joe Estrada. Joe Estrada, another one who will go in there and throw hands at any given moment. So expect a lot of good fireworks to come from that fight as well.
You know, I think that's indicative to the Midwest scene. Guys here in the Midwest fight a lot. We fight often, and you know that you look at guys' records from the Midwest, you know, once they make it to the big show or to a higher level regional show, you know, just like KCFA here, you'll see guys with a lot of fights. And you'll see guys that have fought the same guy several times, or you'll see guys you'll look at cards and you'll see guys have several of the same opponents, and that's across all weight classes. You'll see guys bouncing around in different weight classes just depending on, you know, the time. And that's why I think some of the toughest guys in the world come out of the Midwest. We fight a lot, and you know, that's just the mentality here. You know, you go to the coast, and it's not like that. You'll see guys that have been fighting for 10 years and have 10 fights.
Interesting.
And it's just here in the Midwest we fight. And,
yeah.
And I love being at shows like this. The crowds love it. The fans are incredible. And the guys come to fight. You know, even the first batch of fighters before this intermission. These guys brought it. They were quick finishes, but you know, these guys came to fight, and I love it.
Definitely, that's one of my favorite things about these regional shows is the passion that you can see from the fighters. They're in here to make a statement. A lot of these fighters, especially the local ones, have family and friends that are here, so that pressure of performing in front of the close family, in front of maybe a girlfriend or a boyfriend or, you know, whoever that may be, that's a lot of pressure. I mean, going in here, you got a lot to go to, and so should be definitely interesting for those local fighters, especially the Antonio Martinez, Anthony Gutierrez, who have a big following in the Midwest.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't wait. I'm ready to roll. Wish this intermission was over.
Uh-oh. I'm not here. Hello. Hey, Ant, let's talk a little bit about you.
Talk about me.
What do you got going on?
I am fighting June 9th. I'm fighting Rashad Evans at UFC 225 in Chicago at the United Center. And I've been spending a lot of time in Denver at Factory X getting ready for that. Also, you know, James Krause, a Kansas City native, is one of my teammates there. So I've just been getting ready. I got about 5 weeks left, 4 or 5 weeks left of training, and I'm just ready to roll. Things are going really, really good. I just recently moved up to light heavyweight, so that's exciting. I've been eating a lot. My weight's good. I don't have to worry about the massive weight cuts anymore, and my quality of life is better. My family's definitely better dealing with me, so things are going well for me.
Well, tell us a little bit about that move to light heavyweight. Was that because of the opportunity that a Rashad Evans fight was presented, or was that something that you wanted to do?
I've been wanting to move up to light heavyweight for a long time, but it was hard to do when you're on such a big winning streak and things are going so well at middleweight. my last 3 fights was really the end for me. I told myself that if I for some reason dropped a fight or I took a loss or something like that, I would use that opportunity to get a fresh start at 205. And I had an incredibly hard weight cut in Brazil. It took me 12 hours to get on weight, and that's majority of that was spent in the sauna. And with the up and down yo-yoing of my weight cuts, my weight was going extremely high and then coming down to 185, and it's just got to be too much. And I've been making 185 for 10 years, and as I've gotten older, the weight cuts have gotten harder.
Definitely.
And I just can't do it anymore, And a lot of it, outside of all the excuses and the reasons, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
I think I earned that right. I've been fighting, I've been a professional since 08 and fought 2 years as an amateur previous to that. I'm just ready to enjoy my life and not continue to do any more damage to myself for no reason.
Well, tell us a little bit about this matchup with Rashad Evans, a big name in the sport, a former champion. How exciting is it to be matched up against a former champion in Rashad Evans at your debut at 205 pounds?
Man, I'm excited. I'm glad that they didn't give me, one of those monster 205ers right out the gate and, let me ease my way in a little bit. Because Rashad is also coming up from 185. He had a short bout at middleweight. Now he's coming back to light heavyweight. Rashad's a fight that I've wanted for a long time, and not to throw him under the bus or anything, but it had been offered to me a couple times at middleweight, and Rashad turned it down. So I don't know, what's changed there, but I was really surprised to get the offer. I was even more surprised when Rashad accepted. So I don't have anything negative to say about Rashad. He's a pioneer of the sport. He was on the earlier Ultimate Fighters. He's a former champion. And a guy that I looked up to for a long time.
Definitely.
They say that you want to make it to a place where your idols become, your
rivals.
Become your rivals.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, and I don't want anyone to mistake my respect for Rashad for me not going into this fight with every intention to take his head off, because that's just not me. And I think anybody that knows me knows that. I respect him, but I do plan on taking him out. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, let's get a little bit to the fan questions here.
Wow.
Anthony, we got a first question from Jack here. It says, who is your favorite pro wrestler from the early 90s?
From the early 90s.
There you go.
I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. Obviously, as I got older, I got out of it like most kids did. I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. I was a huge Macho Man Randy Savage fan.
Okay.
I used to run around the house ripping off my white T-shirts, and my mom would just freak out. And as I got older, I got really into Mick Foley as Mankind.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock, and nowadays, I'm a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan.
Of course.
Stone Cold Steve Austin has an awesome podcast that I never miss.
Really? You listen to the Stone Cold podcast?
I do. I listen to it.
Awesome.
He does like a Tuesday, Thursday show.
Uh-huh.
Man, it's just so cool to kind of like relive that dream of just being as cool as Stone Cold. Yeah, I love it, man. I love Stone Cold. I love Stone Cold.
All right, guys, we'll keep coming with the questions for Anthony.
What do we got here?
Anything else here? We got a. Well, we're still waiting on
That's
some.
not
so
allowed.
I don't know what's not allowed.
Okay.
Got some support here online for a Mikey England. Don't know too much about him, but he is going to be the third fight in the next set of fights after this intermission.
Mikey England.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
When they met in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Mikey England and Mike England met each other.
Yeah.
The referee Mike England and the fighter met each other. They are no relation. Mikey England's father works at 3M. He's not a referee.
All right. Well, he should be. We need some more reps here in the Midwest.
We do. Hopefully, as the older fighters retire, guys like William Joplin, maybe someday that guy can be a referee.
Yeah,
as he stands behind us,
creepily just stands
being our
behind us here.
bodyguard.
Yeah.
I need a bodyguard. I need one. Yeah, right. My ugly face does that.
Well, I tell you what. This view here, thank you for staying with us during this intermission. but man, do I not look like a unmade bed sitting next to Anthony Smith here. Jeez. Thanks, guys, for that shot. Here, let's see if we got any other stuff. Jack asks, does Jop have any shirts that don't look like a rash guard on them? So Joplin's already getting a little trolled on here.
Not with the size of muscles that he has. If you move your head a little bit, you can see his muscles. Move your head. Move it. There we go. Look at those muscles.
Look at all of that.
Look at
that. Concentrated on that phone.
He is. He won't even take it out of his pocket. That's how much of a badass he is. He's texted from his pocket.
Yeah, I tell you what. That was a rarity. You do not see that every day, ladies and gentlemen.
That is so funny.
Looks like online Mikey is getting a lot of play as far as comments.
I like it.
Yeah, we should definitely keep our eye on Israel Green versus Mikey England. Another fighter that I'm looking forward to seeing is Brian Wilkerson. Police officer, CrossFit athlete. He's definitely someone that you should keep an eye on in the amateur ranks. Hits hard. He looks like an action figure. He's one of those guys that just, when he walks into a room, this it? Am I on? I'm on. Okay. Good. Just wanted to let everyone else know that I'm on. All right. Thomas McCullough here, back with you as we start the second round of fights up. We've got Logan Arnold walking out as he's about to take on Keegan Lee. Can't tell, but it looks like Logan may have had to take his gauges out and has his ears taped. Never seen that in an MMA fight, but hey, there's a first time for everything.
I used to have a teammate that had his nipples pierced, and he just put tape over him before he fought.
Wow.
I just heard a fun fact about Keegan Lee.
What is that?
He took this fight on short notice,
Okay.
but he wrestled Jaden Cox to a decision.
Wow.
You know, the Olympian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I'm not sure, but
still.
it was just in passing. I was really impressed, if that's true. Fact checkers on YouTube will definitely correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
we will know soon, and we will find out when the fight starts. Logan Arnold 1-0 from Kansas City, Missouri. Keegan Lee 3-1 from Fulton, Missouri.
All right, again, your fighters for bout number 6. Out of the blue corner, Logan Arnold. And your fighter in the red corner, Keegan Lee.
All right, here we go. Round 1. Logan Arnold versus Keegan Lee. Staying consistent. Mike Eaglin making him do a glove touch before we start the fight. And here we go. Keegan Lee looking very relaxed. Slip by Keegan, back to his feet. Oh, huge right hand
huge
thrown
right
by
hand.
Keegan.
That'd have been awful if it landed.
All right, here we go. We're going to see about that wrestling fact that was given to you about Keegan Lee as his back is up against the cage.
Seems to be defending well and attacking a guillotine at the same time. You can't quite see how tight it is. But here,
Logan with a lot of support here. Landing big right punches. Good ground and pound early. Body punches landed by Logan.
Logan doing a pretty good job of controlling him. He's got his ankle hooked here.
Repeat of shots to the head of Keegan Lee. Now it looks like Logan going for a rear naked choke. Looks to be pretty deep, but Keegan is fighting it off.
Keegan fights the hands.
And that is
that's
it.
that.
Rear naked choke for Logan Arnold in the first round.
right, now we're going to make it official.
How about that one? Let's hear it for the fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 1 minute and 32 seconds of the first round. Your winner via submission, rear naked choke, out of the blue corner, Keegan Lee. Logan Arnold.
And the announcer says the wrong name. Hey, but you know what? Mistakes happen. But it was good that he corrected it early. All right. Next, we got a fight at the 125-pound division.
The big guys.
Yeah. Ravion Wilson, very good prospect to keep your eye on. Glory MMA product. Well trained by James Krause, Grant Dawson.
Motello. Our concession is packed full of ice-cold Motello, the beer brewed by those who fight for better. Tonight, out of the blue corner, Skylar Van Treese.
Like in this dedication, this is anti-hesitation. It's a brilliant celebration. It's a down-block declaration. 59th and 5th Ave, Benny House with vanilla wafers. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the ocean matrix. Red rose in the gray pavement.
Skylar coming to us from the Welcome Mat Training Center. Very good for very well known for their grappling. Again, Ravion Wilson from Glory MMA and Fitness, as you've seen all night. Very respectable gym, one of the outstanding gyms in the Midwest.
I need some real wicked reparations. Or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. Some more of a sacrifice.
You know, Anthony, another great thing about these regional fights is that you get to see so many other MMA standouts. I look over here and I see a Brian Davidson, William Joplin has passed us, Zach Cummings is here, obviously James Krause is cornering. One of the benefits of coming to a regional show is you get to see those really outstanding MMA fighters in the region.
Absolutely, and I think that that's necessary. I think the guys like us have been doing it for a long time. We got to give back, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing these guys are here coaching, a lot of them, and they're giving back. They're giving back.
I spent my whole life staring at the stage, playing Sega, daddy smoking shirt, mama playing spades, catching favorites. Grandma said I get some drugs for my grades. That's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways. I spent my whole life trying to make it, trying to chase it. The same spot, the black man, the rise, trying to break it. Take the longest, trying to ride bodies, just embrace it.
And let's hear it for the fighter in the red corner, Ravion Wilson.
Chick. God mobbing over here, son. Say, it's time to repair. Get your weapons. Get the steppers. Satan trying to get a checkmate, so I put a righteousness as my breastplate. I preach the word, it's like a sword in my hand, plus I got my shield, they wanna test me. Grip tight your weapon, time to fight and stab me. We will see if you a soldier when your life is threatened.
All right, we wait for Ravion Wilson to make his entrance here.
Christ protected is war. Dressed up all in my armor, gotta stay ready for all of that power. Only is war. Probably get my team full of paraplegics, cause we don't bomb boys. Stand against the evil that can flying off the tongue, boy. What I'm supposed to say, cause you got a gun, boy. That's what stopped me from telling you Jesus is the wrong boy. No, boy, I've been robbed, I've been shot.
Just as we mentioned, Ravion Wilson with an outstanding corner of LC Davis and James Krause. Can't get much better here in the Midwest with those two guys helping you out.
It doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't.
Seven and 2, Skylar Van Treese taking on 1-0 Ravion Wilson. Again, Skylar Van Treese coming to us from the Welcome Mat Training Center and Ravion Wilson at Glory MMA.
Skylar And your fighter in the red corner, Rayvon Wilson.
All right, at the 125-pound division, you can expect a lot of action extremely early. These guys will definitely bring it.
Both these guys look ready. I'm excited for this.
Huge right hand by Skyler. Ground and pound by, and that is it. That one might have been a little early. As we have mentioned, that amateur fights, we do want to err on the side of caution. However, I do think that that could have been just a tad bit early, but we will see in the replay here. Again, a huge right hand landed early. Do not blink or you will miss it. Right there.
Huge right hand.
Ground and pound. I don't know. I
don't know. It's hard to tell.
Again, I
think if it's hard to tell, I think you err on the side of caution.
Definitely, I agree.
Especially here as amateurs. Was a very clean right hand, though. I think that fight had all the makings to be a great fight.
Yeah, definitely.
But a big overhand right, you can't do nothing about that. There's nothing
totally
you can do about
Ladies and
that.
gentlemen, this bout has ended at 9 seconds of the first round. Your winner by knockout, out of the blue corner, Skyler Van Treese.
Skyler Van Treese getting it done in under the time it takes to upload a Snapchat. All right,
that was quick, and we're moving on.
Definitely, and we're going to move to the 170-pound division. Israel Green versus Mikey England, and Anthony and I have been watching the comments. Mikey England having a lot of positive reaction on our YouTube stream here.
Mikey England has a lot of supporters.
Let's keep right on moving into bout number 8, presented by Sterling Bowl, your full-service bowling center with food and drink on the corner of 24 Highway in Sterling. Let's hear it for your fighter out of the blue corner, Israel Green. Fighting out of the red corner, Mikey England!
Mikey England making his debut here tonight, fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri.
Your referee for bout 8 is Mike England, not to be confused with the fighter. Out of the blue corner, we have Israel Green.
Definitely a height advantage here for Israel Green. We'll see if that plays into the fight.
Got the glove touch, and we're rolling.
Mikey England with early pressure, big right hand. Goes for a takedown.
Looks like they both connected right hands there. Mikey with a big takedown. Looked relatively undefended there.
Looking to pass here and maybe establish some ground and pound. Mikey trapping an arm. Big right hands early.
Looks like Green's stuck here. He needs to do something if he doesn't want Mike England to stop this fight.
When you get put in this crucifix situation, what would you try to do to get out?
I try not to get in it, first of all. Yeah. It's a really tough position to defend. And you really just have to panic and try to explode. He's got to get his right arm from being around his head. He's got to get it in front like he is here. And try to use it as a frame, get to his left hip. And it looks like he's doing a good job of trying to do that, but Mikey England's just so strong on top and such a good control wrestler. He goes back to control. He goes back to controlling both arms and goes right back to punching.
Mikey throwing big right-handed shots here to the face of Israel Green.
Israel Green's doing the right thing. He's just being controlled, and there's nothing he can really do at this point other than keep moving. If he stops moving, Mike England will stop this fight. If I was Mikey, I would try to attack that arm that's over his head right now.
Now it looks like he moved into. Is Mikey England trying to move into a mount position here?
It looks like he's trying to move into like a leg lace position, which will trap Israel Green's hips and make him unable to turn. Israel's doing a good job of moving his hips and staying as safe as he possibly can. I'm actually really surprised.
Mikey England,
this is bad.
Yeah, Mikey England now with the full mount. Looks to be wanting to establish some ground and pound. Huge right-handed shots by Mikey England. Mike England, the referee, looking to stop this fight maybe. And that is it. Another first-round stoppage. Impressive debut for Mikey England as he wins with a TKO in the first round.
Right here, he's postured up, punching freely. And Israel's just stuck here. Israel Green's stuck, and he's doing everything he can to get away, and he's just stuck. I think that stop might have been a little bit early, but I don't think that it changed the result of the fight.
Definitely agree with you. 7 fights in, we have yet to see a second round. Action-packed from bell to bell. Again, do not blink as these fights are action-packed.
And let's make it official.
Gentlemen, this bout has ended at 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the first round. Your winner by TKO by strikes out of the red corner, Mikey England!
All right, now we're going to move to the 165-pound division in our 8th fight of the night. Tyler Berg taking on John O'Brien. John O'Brien making his 4th fight in the amateur ranks. We'll see how he does.
Bout number 9, brought to you by Nick Abbott Insurance. The all-in-one stop for your insurance needs. Out of the blue corner, we have Tyler Berg.
All right, Tyler Berg making his way into the cage. Again, this is going to be in the 165-pound division as we await his opponent, John O'Brien.
And please welcome to the red corner, John O'Brien.
Anthony, as we get ready for John O'Brien to make his way into the cage, one thing of note is his closest friend, Grant Dawson, is in his corner. Have you ever been in a situation where you have cornered a close friend in a fight?
I have, and it's awful.
It's
awful. It's awful. I've cornered one of my best friends, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had to go through. It's really, really hard. You know, you would give anything just to be in there doing it yourself instead, you know? It's way harder to corner your friend than it is to actually fight.
Interesting. All right, here we
Unless
go.
you don't care about your friend.
Well, let's hope you do. All right, here we go.
Fighters for bout number 9. Out of the blue corner, Tyler Berg. And your fighter out of the red corner, John O'Brien.
John O'Brien, high school wrestler in the Kansas City metro area. Tyler Berg, in previous fights, have showed good stand-up, so almost looks like it could be a wrestler versus striker, but we shall see. Big strikes landed by John, and a kick.
Going right to work.
Takedown attempt here by Tyler Berg.
These guys are grappling here on the cage, exchanging knees a little bit.
All right, now John putting Tyler's back up against the cage and looking for some ground and pound and looking for a double leg takedown. Really working hard for this takedown. Andy gets it.
John O'Brien locks his legs up right here. It's going to make it really tough for Tyler Berg to get back to his feet. Until he can free his legs, he's not going to be able to use his hips against the cage to stand back up. Until O'Brien frees his head or Berg lets go, we're going to be kind of in a stalemate position here.
In your opinion, when they get into this stalemate position, is this justify of a stand-up, or do you allow them to continue to fight?
Well, it looks like O'Brien he works his head out. In that position, you got to kind of let him work. O'Brien worked really hard to get to that position, so you got to let him keep it if you can. He's doing a good job of working Tyler Berg's back off the cage so that he can't use it to stand up. You see that's just that slight turn so he can't keep his head on the cage, which forces him flat.
John still establishing his position here on the ground. Not a ton of action, but as you mentioned, he is working for a position, and he should be allowed to stay in it.
They're definitely working. I don't imagine that Mike England's gonna step in here. They're both trying to advance their positions. But if this action slows down at all, Mike England will step in.
Tyler Berg really not keeping a closed guard as he kind of goes from a closed guard to an open guard, looking to move in different positions. Now he has a butterfly guard here.
Well, that's what's keeping O'Brien from being able to posture up and really rain down some big punches. Tyler Berg's been really active on the bottom, so that's partially what's keeping him safe. He's not letting John O'Brien get his posture and rain free punches.
Well, that is the 10-second warning. We might be seeing a second round here tonight at Kansas City Fighting Alliance. John trying not to have that happen as he goes for some type of takedown, but the round is over. Now we're going to go into our second round, the first of the night.
Well, I don't know what to do now.
I don't either. What should we say?
What do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do. Round 2, we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about what we do now.
Yeah, this is now where we just kind of...
No, but anyways, I think that John O'Brien won that round. Tyler Berg impressed me, though. He was really, really active, and even there at the end when there was that scramble, he was able to win the scramble and ended the round on top. I don't think that was enough to win the round. But so far, it's a really, really competitive fight. Neither guy looks too overly tired. They both look in good condition. But in my opinion, I think it's John O'Brien 1-0.
What would you be telling Tyler Berg as we go into the second round here?
You know, it's hard to say. We didn't get to see a whole lot of striking, so it's hard to say keep it on your feet. You know, they know him better than I do. So in this situation, which is rare, I don't know what I would say.
All right, we start round 2. Big kick thrown by John. John, another big kick. Another impressive thing is he's keeping pressure with a lot of hand movement as well. Huge kick by John.
He's hurt. Well, composure by Tyler Berg to get the clinch. He may lose the takedown battle here, but he's not getting punched. He's not taking damage to the head, and he's allowing himself time to recover. I was just getting ready to say, John O'Brien looks to be the more comfortable fighter here, at least on their feet. Looks like Tyler Berg is cut. I can't tell if it's on the bridge of his nose or where it's coming from.
John O'Brien working for a double leg takedown as he did in round 1.
John O'Brien's corner, James Krause, is calling for him to separate, but it looks like he didn't want to give up on that takedown, and he does get it.
As you mentioned, it does look like Tyler is bleeding from the face. Can't really tell if that's from the nose or maybe a cut on the forehead. John O'Brien looks to be caught in a guillotine. I don't know if this is going to end the fight, but he is stuck in a position that's not the best.
He is stuck. It doesn't seem like he has any of his air cut off yet. I can see his eyes, and it does look like he's breathing. Looks like he's fighting the hands here. John's doing a good job, and he gets free. Now, how much energy did Tyler Berg burn there?
Very true, and now we're going to see if John O'Brien can make him pay with some ground and pound or if he's going to try to advance his position.
Both guys actually seem to slow just a little bit.
1 minute left in the round, round 2 of a scheduled 3-round fight.
And Mike Ingles stands him up. Like I said, if the action slowed at all, he was going to stand him up. That's one thing Mike Ingles is known for. He's not going to let you stay and hang out.
All right, here we go. John O'Brien again with pressure, and again another big kick thrown. Getting to the clinch position up against the cage, right in front of us here. Good knee landed by John O'Brien. A flurry of punches by John and a kick to end that combination.
Tyler Berg looks so uncomfortable on his feet. In the throw. And he ends up on top.
Now we get to see Tyler Berg and what his ground and pound or top position could look like against John O'Brien. 20 seconds left in round number 2.
Looks like O'Brien's trying to use his foot to circle off the cage. Tyler Berg looks pretty content to end the round right here on top.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we go into round number 3.
We didn't talk about this either.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about round 3.
We do not know what we are doing right now. Which,
what a great fight.
Very competitive, very evenly matched. After 2 rounds, who would you give this nod to as far as that second round?
I think John O'Brien is up 2 rounds to 0. I think Tyler Berg needs a finish here to win this fight. He looks to be exhausted right now, and I'm not sure that if that big head kick took it out of him, but unbelievable that he survived that round. That was a huge head kick. He wobbled his legs. He had the intelligence to clinch, slow down John O'Brien a little bit, and get his wits about him.
And we'll see if he can build on a little bit of confidence ending the round on top, see if that's something that helps him as we go into round 3.
If I was Tyler Berg's corner, I would be saying you need to get to the takedown and work on the ground because he looks way too uncomfortable on his feet to stand in front of John O'Brien any longer.
All right, here we go, the start of round 3. Again, early pressure by John and kicks. A kick now thrown by Tyler. They get into a clinch position. A huge punch landed by Tyler Berg.
I can't tell if John O'Brien is hurt. He was definitely wobbled a little bit. If Tyler Berg wants to win this fight, he's got to get his back off the cage.
And rinse and repeat. Here we go, seeing John O'Brien work for another double leg takedown. He's had success in all previous rounds. It looks like he might get this in round number 3. And he does.
And he gets it away from the cage, which is going to make it really tough for Tyler Berg to get back to his feet.
Tyler supporters behind us cheering him on, hoping that he can come back and get a victory here in the 3rd round. John O'Brien gets his head out and looks to establish his dominant position.
If I was Tyler Berg, I would be trying to hang on and control the posture and wait for Mike Ingram to stand the fight back up and try to go for a home run again. He's got to get back to his feet if he wants to win this fight. He's got the closed guard here now. If he can control the posture and slow the punches down, I think Mike Ingram will stand him up.
Minute 30 left in the round. Third round here at KCFA.
If I'm John O'Brien, I need to pass here. He needs to pass if he wants to continue to work on the ground.
John O'Brien smothering Tyler here as we come to 1 minute in the 3rd and final round. All right, less than a minute, and here's Mike England standing him up. We'll see if Tyler can throw a home run or if maybe John can land one of those patented kicks he's been successful with. Big kick, knee to the body, and John throws another head kick, and here's Tyler coming right back at him.
John goes to the knees and ties him back up.
John O'Brien definitely looking to be the fresher of the 2 fighters and now looks for another double leg up against the cage. We got 10 seconds left here in the 3rd and final round.
It looks like this is how we're going to end right here.
All right, that is the end of the fight. We go
What
to
a great fight.
That was a fantastic fight. Tyler definitely going for broke there in the 3rd round, landing a huge punch. But I would say the story of the fight was the double legs and kicks from John O'Brien.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that that's a 3-0 sweep for John O'Brien, but that doesn't show how good of a fight it was. This is a great fight.
Great amateur fight here at Kansas City Fighting Alliance 28. Again, I am Thomas McCullough, joined by UFC light heavyweight Anthony Smith.
And here we are going to a decision.
Yeah, what do we do here? Just let the announcer
I think
speak?
we just wait.
Okay.
I think that's what we do. I think we wait.
Definitely unconventional for what the previous fights have been.
I told you folks, these fights get better and better.
All right, now we get the judges' scorecards and we go to the announcer for our decision.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about that fight? Judge Henry Gary scores the bout 30 to 27. Judge Brett Miller scores the bout 30 to 27. And Judge Kevin Champion scores the bout 30 to 27. For the red corner, John O'Brien!
As we stated, very fun fight to watch there. John O'Brien picking up the clean sweep 3-0. Getting better each and every time here at Kansas City Fighting Alliance. Prospect you should definitely keep your eye on. And now we're going to move to the 9th fight. This is going to be in the heavyweight. We've got the big boys now.
There we go. I'm pumped now.
Yeah, this is going to be
That got
fun.
me in the mood.
Is presented by McCarthy Auto Group. View the new 2018 inventory at any of the McCarthy locations throughout the Kansas City metro area. For bout 10, your fighter out of the blue corner is James Regina.
James, a KCFA vet, making his way to the cage. Ninth fight here tonight in the heavyweight division, heavyweight amateur title fight. James Regina versus Brian Wilkerson. Brian Wilkerson coming out, I tell you what, a CrossFit athlete, police officer, looks like $1 million. This should be a fun fight. Again, this is for the heavyweight.
Let's hear it for your fighters. Out of the blue corner, James Regina. And out of the red corner, Brian Wilkerson.
A matchup of two undefeated amateur heavyweights.
All right, folks. Got two undefeated heavyweights here.
All right, little stall in the action as a towel is needed for, looks to be some water on the floor of the canvas.
can't handle it anymore. I want to see this fight.
I know. This should be fun. Again, 2 undefeated amateur heavyweights for the heavyweight amateur title here at Kansas City Fighting Alliance.
Got the glove touch, and let's go.
Huge shots landed by Brian. Leg kick by James.
James doesn't seem to be too intimidated.
Oh, a double knockdown! And we go into a rear naked choke by Brian Wilkerson.
Oh, man.
Wow. The rare double knockdown.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
For just a second, that was crazy. See if we can get a replay on that.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the replay here. Leg kick thrown by James, and then a feint by James, and here we go, right here. Whack.
Right here. Boom. They both went down, and he goes right to the neck. Doesn't get his hooks in or anything.
With how quick Brian reacted from that, it almost looked like it just was a punch that took him off balance and wasn't really a flash knockout. But still, very rare that you see 2 guys drop from punches thrown at the same time. Brian was able to recover quicker than James and get that rear naked choke.
I really wish that fight would have went longer.
Yeah, I sure wish it was. But, you know, like you said, when a big shot's landed, that's what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 30 seconds of the first round. Your winner by submission, rear naked choke out of the red corner, Brian Wilkerson!
Brian Wilkerson, your heavyweight champion here at Kansas City Fighting Alliance. Right
yeah,
there.
I really wish we would have been able to see a little bit more of that fight.
Yeah,
I really feel like that had some potential to it. And although it was the quick double knockdown and the rear naked choke.
Before we get on to the professional portion of our card tonight, if you are looking to buy or sell a home, Brian Davidson Realty is fighting for his clients in this challenging market. Mr. D is powered by Keller Williams Realty and is a proud sponsor of tonight's event. Thank you. Please grab something from the concession stand, like a cold Modelo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the professional card to start. Who's ready to watch these guys fight? I said, are you ready to watch these pros fight? For bout number 11, it's presented by Body Armor. Stop by at any local grocery store or gas station to get the best electrolyte drink on the market. Body Armor. Your fighter, out of the blue corner, J.W. Kaiser!
All right, here we go, starting the pro side of the KCFA fight card. Anthony, as we start the pro side of the KCFA fight card, one thing that is interesting about the KCFA cage is how small it is. Do you think that'll play a factor as far as the pro side of the fights go?
I think it will. I think with these guys being heavyweights and the need for space is going to be a lot bigger than it would for a 125-pounder. So, but I think that the smaller cages cause more action because there's not as much distance between the fighters and they're going to be closer the entire time.
Please welcome his opponent out of the red corner, Antonio Martinez!
Antonio Martinez, one of Kansas City's favorite MMA fighters. Coming back to action after a shoulder injury, took him off the fight cards for a few. Here he is, Antonio Martinez. You know, word is that he's so strong he eats a steak with a spoon.
He sure does look strong, that's for sure. That's a big boy.
My goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels. He called my name and my heart stood still.
You definitely got to respect the choice of song.
Yeah.
I will. Go tell that long-tongued liar.
Both guys making their pro debut here tonight. J.W. Kaiser fighting out of Leavenworth, Kansas. Antonio Martinez fighting out of Buckner, Missouri. Antonio Martinez, a former light heavyweight and heavyweight amateur KCFA champion. And here we go. This is going to be exciting, guys. Both making their pro debut, both heavyweights, both heavy hitters. This is going to be action-packed. Do not blink.
It sounds like you're ready for a fight. Let's hear it for your blue corner, J.W. Kaiser. And let's hear it for the red corner, Antonio Martinez. Your referee for this match is Mike England.
All right, here we go. Starting off the pro side of the KCFA fight card, Antonio Martinez, J.W. Kaiser, both making their pro debuts. This is going to be great.
Got
Touch
the
of
glove
gloves.
touch and let's go.
One thing about the fighting style of Antonio Martinez that we've seen in the KCFA cage is that he's very composed, very relaxed. And there we go.
He's out.
Super powerful, big strikes landed.
Oh,
And the fight is over.
Wow. Quick finish from the heavyweights, just like we predicted.
Yeah, and that was a justifiable stoppage because you could tell from those strikes that Antonio flash knocked out J.W. Kaiser. Here we go with the replay. J.W. not having his hands up.
You know, Kaiser just was never able to get on a roll there.
Yeah. In the exchange, we had a big stoppage. Definitely J.W. Kaiser getting burnt there at the end.
What a great fight, though. Quick, but a good fight. I think we have a pretty good prospect here in Antonio Martinez.
Definitely.
I really do.
Yeah, as I stated, an amateur KCFA light heavyweight and heavyweight champion making his pro debut in stunning fashion, knockout, first round. He is still pumped. You can tell he still has a ton of energy. He could probably fight 3 more times tonight at that pace. Very impressive win to start off his pro career.
It's always good to see sportsmanship like that. Just good, clean competition. Although it did end in a knockout, these guys don't hate each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 24 seconds of the first round. Your winner by TKO due to strikes out of the red corner, Antonio Martinez. All right, Antonio, I want to talk to you. That was quite the show. Was that what you came out here to do? Yes, sir. Surprise, surprise, motherfuckers, I'm back! Quite the return. Quite the return. So you went 10-0 as an amateur, and now professional here. Tell me, you want to call anybody out? It's your birthday. I didn't even know that.
I still kind of rude, saying bad words, but a lot of people thought I was done. I said I got a little injured. What I say, surprise, surprise, I'm back. And then it's what I love to do. It's what I find my birthday. Nothing better than celebrate the birthday right here. KCFA, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's awesome to have you back. It sounds like this crowd is happy, huh? What about that? What about that?
Great way to celebrate your birthday by winning first round knockout.
Absolutely.
Who's ready to see bout number 11?
All right, here we go into the official co-main
Bout
event of
number
the
11
night.
is presented by Body Armor. Stop by any local grocery store or gas station and get the best electrolyte drink on the market. Body Armor. Your co-main event is brought to you by Modelo. Our concession is packed full of ice-cold Modelo beer. The beer brewed for those who fight for better. Out of the blue corner, please welcome Jacob Aiken!
Jacob Aiken making his way to the cage, a welcome mat training center fighter. ton of experience, as I mentioned, with fights on his record against L.C. Davis, Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez, and many others, like 2 fights that he had with William Joplin, the first one being very competitive, very fun to watch. When Jacob Bacon gets in the cage, there's one thing that he will definitely do, and that it will bring the action.
And his opponent tonight, out of the red corner, is Joe Estrada!
Another KCMMA vet, Joe Estrada. Really good striking, very good on the ground. This is definitely an evenly matched fight. Jacob Bacon, again, ton of experience. Joe Estrada, not as much experience, but has definitely been in the KCFA cage a few times, and he can definitely bring it.
Take a sip, feel just how I be. On freeway, but no ain't nothing free. Been lost, been lanes, been busting bills, but still ain't nothing changed. Soon as you rock the chain, she got the waves.
Jacob Bacon fighting out of Kansas City, Kansas. Joe Estrada fighting out of Gladstone, Missouri.
Out of the blue corner, we have Jacob Bacon. And fighting out of the red corner, we have Joe Estrada. Your referee for tonight is Mike England.
I do want to note, I think Joe Estrada is wearing Louis Vuitton trunks.
Hey, I tell you what.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
If you're going to be in the co-main event, you might as well make a statement.
You might as well. I can't tell. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to do my research.
All right, here we go. Huge
finish.
Big flurry to start the fight.
Way to start the fight. I like this.
Leg kick by Joe Estrada. Now they kind of settle into the action. Jacob Bacon moving in and out. Big strikes being thrown by Joe Estrada. Body kick by Joe Estrada. Jacob Bacon tries to return a 1-2.
Looks like they're finally starting to settle down a little bit. I think both guys being close to their hometowns and having a lot of support here really got them fired up and ready to get going.
One-two by Jacob Bacon, followed by another jab.
Both guys land solid punches there. It's really hard to tell who's winning these exchanges here.
A Superman punch thrown by Joe Estrada. Now his back is against the cage.
Both guys land punches there. These guys are really trading. There's not one of them that seem to be standing out in these exchanges.
Oh.
Like Estrada was hurt there, maybe.
A left cross that put Joe Estrada stopped in his tracks. Here we go, trading again. Jacob Bacon circles off the cage.
Incredible.
With 3 minutes left in the round, I tell you what, the first 2 minutes were all haymakers, it seemed like.
Yeah, there's no one fainting or using jabs to set any traps. Both these guys are just biting down on their mouthpieces and they're going.
Leg kick takes Joe Estrada to the mat. Jacob Bacon allows him to get back up. Body punch by Jacob Bacon. Now Jacob Bacon seems to be switching up some of his strikes, not just all head punches.
Jacob Bacon seems to be, he's being a little bit more dynamic. He's not just throwing, he's held off of the haymakers to the head. He's beating up his body. He's throwing big kicks to the leg. Joe Estrada's got a huge well on the back of his left leg already, just from 2 solid kicks. He's really he's eating his legs up.
Massive leg kicks landed by Jacob Bacon. Now it seems to be him finding his stride and Joe Estrada trying to counter that. Another leg kick. No. Here we go, taking a look at the replay.
He gets in deep on the double leg. It looks like he almost tapped right away. And right here, he's just trying to resist as much as he can, hoping that Jacob Bacon's arms burn out, and he doesn't. He gets the tap right here. It was a great fight, though.
Yeah, you know, I tell you what, I don't know if you can get a better start to an MMA fight with that flurry that Joe Estrada tried to take to Jacob Bacon. Credit to Jacob Bacon, though. He held his composure and was able to find his groove and to land a lot of good punches.
Those guys started like they were shot out of a cannon. It was incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 3 minutes and 19 seconds of the first round. Your winner by a tap out due to guillotine choke out of the blue corner, Jacob Bacon!
By the way, those are absolutely Louis Vuitton trunks.
Tell me, what'd you come out here to do? Was this it?
Yes, it was. I simply come out to entertain. Listen, I have to go ahead and make an announcement. I'm going to hang my gloves up for personal reasons. This will be the last time you ever see me in any type of combat ring. Hey, I've been doing this since I was 19 years old, man. I'm about to be 33. I got a family, you know. Kayla, I just want to tell you, thank you for putting up with my bullshit over these years. And I want to thank everybody that came out and supported me. Foundation 1, baby. If you guys need some foundation done or mud jacket, holler at us, baby. Raytown.
I'll tell you what, that was a good note to go out on. Thank you so much for coming here to put on a show. We appreciate it and look forward to your future. But congratulations on that family. Thank you.
Well, kind of a shock to the Kansas City MMA community. Jacob Bacon retiring after that victory. As he mentioned, he's been doing it since he's 19. A veteran in the MMA scene. Definitely would like to see him still coach and corner fighters as they progress and his teammates progress. But as he mentioned, that was the last time we will see him in a MMA cage.
I wonder if he knew that before. And maybe that's the way why he fought the way that he fought. But I got a feeling that's probably not the last time Jacob Bacon's going to fight.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Chael Sonnen always says, fighters go out face down and embarrassed. You can't go out on a win. It doesn't work like that. He's going to be sitting around at home thinking about that, how great of a performance it was. He'll be back.
Would not be shocked, but credit to him for getting that victory. All right, now we're going to move to the main event. This is Fight 12 at the 145-pound division.
Jose Martinez!
All right, here we go.
And now your fighter, fighting out of the red corner, his opponent, Anthony Gutierrez.
Here we go, Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez looking very relaxed. One thing of note with this fight, Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez, typically a 135-pound fighter. This fight is going to be at 145 pounds. We'll see if the move up in weight class will affect his fighting style. First time fighting this year as well. See if there's any ring cage rust. Jose Martinez 8-3 from Oklahoma. Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez from Lee Summit, Missouri 9-3, and Glory MMA and Fitness.
Are you ready for the main event? Let's hear it for the fighters. Out of the blue corner, you have Jose Martinez. And fighting out of the red corner, Anthony Gutierrez. Your referee for tonight is Mike England.
All right, and our main event is set. I expect Sharkbait to start pretty similar to how he always is. He's super calculated. He's very intelligent. There's a reason behind everything that he does.
Early kicks by Anthony to start off the round. Applying pressure, putting Jose's back up against the cage. More kicks thrown by Anthony Gutierrez. Flurry from Jose. As we saw from the last fight from Anthony Gutierrez, he throws a ton of kicks. Look to be the same here tonight against Jose Martinez.
Beautiful takedown defense. Sharkbait is so calm right here. That's the biggest difference I see in these two fighters right now. Jose Martinez looks stressed. He looks a little bit nervous, a little bit stiff. Sharkbait looks so calm and relaxed. He's not forcing anything. Their faces tell two totally different stories.
Takedown from Jose Martinez. Anthony looking to counter and get on top, and he does. Jose maybe looking for a leg lock of some type. If you're Sharkbait, what do you do in this situation when someone's trying to work a leg but you're trying to essentially establish a ground and pound or a position?
He just needs to stay calm here and do what he's doing. He's attacking his feet and he's making sure that he doesn't let Jose Martinez get his legs wrapped all the way around. He's got to watch out for the up kicks. He's got to stuff his feet down and work his way back down to the mat just like he just did.
One thing of note is Jose Martinez, during that exchange, I was able to see his inside leg, and it was already starting to bruise.
He took a significant amount of leg kicks already. And it seems like that was part of Sharkbait's plan. I mean, like I said, he's always been super calculated. He chips away at his opponents. He sticks to the game plan. And he's extremely hard to beat in his hometown. Jose Martinez is definitely fighting a tough battle here, especially stuck on his back. Sharkbait's ground game it's great. It's great. Jose's going the right places though. He's framing. He's trying to get to a hip. He's defending himself well. He's getting back to his feet. He's got to watch his neck here though. Does well. He's fighting hands. He's doing the right things. Sharkbait's just a step ahead of him here, but it looks like he's got his leg not for long.
Jose relentless with this takedown attempt. But Anthony doing a great job of takedown defense. Again, getting a dominant position.
Some great scrambles here.
Sharkbait with what looks to be a front choke. Back to their feet. Anthony's back up against cage, looking to get into a better position. Jose getting some good dirty boxing in.
Jose Martinez has got the underhook and wrist control, looking to sweep the leg here. Nice knee to the body by Sharkbait.
Sharkbait attacking an arm. Now going back to a defensive position, trying to stop this takedown from Jose Martinez. 30 seconds left in the first round.
Both guys are doing a good job here. This is a tough battle. Jose's got his hands locked and he's going to get the takedown. Sharkbait right back to his feet. Jose trying to take the back. Jose's going to try to return him to the mat here.
10 seconds of the first round. Jose gets another takedown. Looks to be Anthony working for a submission. And the round is over.
Really close round. Really close round.
After round one, who would you give that to?
I think I would give that to Anthony Gutierrez. I think he won that round.
There was definitely a lot of dominant positions that he had as far as ground and pound and also top position and some dirty boxing up against the cage as well.
Right, I think he won the striking battle at the beginning of the round, and I think he had the more dominant positions for longer on the ground. But a really, really close round.
Yeah, one thing of note was Jose Martinez just working relentlessly for takedown after takedown after takedown. We'll see if that happens in round two. That has to be taxing on the body to go after a takedown like that for 5 continuous minutes. All right, now we're going to start round two. And here we go. They touch gloves. Anthony applying pressure.
Look for Sharkbait to get right back to working those leg kicks.
Another big kick. Up against the cage, Anthony with the more dominant position and an underhook.
This guy's working right here in front of us, jockeying for position.
Jose Martinez now puts Anthony up against the cage. Working for a single leg, looks like.
Right here, Sharkbait's going to continue to fight the wrist so he doesn't let Jose get butt locked under his, get both hands locked behind his legs. See how he keeps that wrist the whole entire time? Essentially, he's making Jose Martinez take him down with one hand.
Again, Jose Martinez relentless on this takedown. Anthony with elbows. And a submission attempt now with Anthony getting in top position.
Anthony's going to look to pass here. He's stuck in half guard. He's going to posture up. Big elbow.
What a grinding pace so far, almost at the halfway point between Jose Martinez and Anthony Gutierrez. Anthony has Jose's arm trapped with his leg and now looks to move into a mount position. Scramble.
Get into a scramble here.
They are going at it. This is a grappling match if I have ever seen one. And now another submission attempt from Anthony. Jose gets top position. What a scramble by Jose Martinez. This is a hell of a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
If I'm Anthony here, I'm going to work to get my shoulders to the cage and walk my way up. Jose Martinez doing a good job of not letting Anthony get his back to the cage and stand up. Surprisingly enough, Sharkbait turned himself away from the cage, which is the totally opposite of what I would do. I would have turned my head towards the cage and used my shoulders up against the fence and pushed myself up the cage. But he turned himself away from it. I'm not sure if Jose Martinez was keeping him from being able to sit up, and instead of having his head jammed, he just wanted to turn around. I'm not sure what that was about.
Looks to be that Anthony's working for some type of triangle submission, or maybe just trying to stop the posturing of Jose Martinez.
It looks like he was attacking some kind of arm lock there and definitely using it to. Sharkbait's eating some elbows here, though.
Minute 30 in the second round. This is our main event of Kansas City Fighting Alliance. Jose Martinez versus Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez. Anthony now grabbing his own ankle, again looking for some type of submission or maybe just to stop the posturing of Jose Martinez.
And Jose Martinez passes and feeds him some elbows for his troubles.
Now Jose Martinez in side control.
This is so tiring from the bottom, too.
Underhook from Anthony Gutierrez, stopped by Jose Martinez.
Jose Martinez doing a great job of keeping his own underhook and not letting Sharkbait scramble and get back to his knees. And here he's attacking a choke.
20 seconds coming up left in the second round. Submission attempt by Jose Martinez.
Looks like the looks.
And as the second round comes to a close, another grappling heavy round. Both guys jump right back to their feet. Jose Martinez looks a little bit exhausted as we go into the third round. Anthony popped up and almost looked irritated with what happened in the second round. We'll see if he makes any adjustments going into the third. After 2 rounds, what do you see here, Anthony?
After 2 rounds, I think we're tied at 1 apiece. I think that whoever wins this third round wins the fight unless we see some sort of a finish. I'm not sure what Anthony said to James Krause when James came in, but he said something and James replied, kind of something along the lines of, I know. So I don't know if he's saying he's okay or he's tired or something along those lines, but he looks to be okay. But Jose Martinez is always he's already back on his feet before the end of the break, so I'd imagine both guys are pretty tired at this point. They're just not going to show it.
All right, here we go, the third and final round. Glove touch. Anthony again establishes those kicks early. Anthony definitely looks to be the more comfortable of the two fighters on the feet.
Absolutely. And the beginning of this round looks like the beginning of the previous 2.
Takedown attempt.
I think Jose Martinez is going to have a tough time taking down Sharkbait in the middle of the cage. All of his takedowns he's landed in this fight have been up against the fence.
Great transition there from Anthony, taking his back, looking to get a hook.
Anthony took his hook out there for some reason. He had one hook in, He's looking to put the second one in.
Now he established side control against Jose Martinez, putting Jose's back up against the mat. We'll see what he can do in this position.
And lace your legs.
A lot of advice given by Anthony's supporters here at KCFA. Now top position and mount for Anthony Gutierrez. We'll see if he can posture up and get some ground and pound.
Jose Martinez looks tired here.
This has definitely been a grinding pace that both guys have established. Anthony looking to be in better shape of the two fighters.
Jose Martinez is still defending well. He's still doing all the right things to escape these positions, so you can't count him out yet.
A body lock established by Anthony, now giving up and putting a hook in. What a grueling pace that these two fighters have had. Right now, if you're Jose Martinez, what do you have to do to get out?
If I was him, he's got to get to the cage. He's got to take some of that pressure off. And first and foremost, he's got to defend this choke.
Rear naked choke attempt.
He's doing well, though. He's fighting the hands. He's tucking his chin. He's turning it in. But he's got to release this body triangle.
Jose Martinez with a big sigh as he's still trying to defend this choke. Anthony still keeping the pressure up. Jose working to get to his feet.
That works 1 out of 10 times. That's it. And now he's stretched out on the mat, about to be flattened out. So much pressure on his stomach here.
Coming up on 2 minutes left in the third and final round. Anthony with top position. One thing of note is Anthony's body lock is super tight.
It's
definitely
extremely tight. Jose Martinez is trying to turn and face him, and it's so tight he's not allowing his hips. He's not even allowing his hips to turn over. He's trying to face him, and here he goes now.
On top of that, I would imagine it would be very tough to just breathe in that position as well.
Exactly.
Post up elbows. Post up elbows.
The corner of Anthony Gutierrez advising him to throw elbow strikes.
You know, one would tend to think if Sharkbait just postures up and throws just a flurry, he would get a finish.
And right on cue, he throws a few punches and gets back into a dominant position.
Right here. 1 minute, let's go. 1 minute, let's go. Turn up.
He's about to lose this top position.
Now Jose Martinez on top with 1 minute left. Anthony Gutierrez looking to his corner, asking how much time is left. Under a minute. Jose putting Anthony's back up against the cage, it looks like.
If Jose Martinez wants to win this fight, I believe he's going to need a finish or a 10-8 round, which seems pretty impossible at this point.
Armbar attempt now by Anthony Gutierrez. Defended well by Jose. Given up now by Anthony as he looks to get out of this uncomfortable situation.
Jose staying busy here. I wouldn't expect to stand up.
Coming up on 10 seconds left in the third and final round. Jose Martinez on top, but Anthony is working for some type of submission here. And we are done with the fight. Fantastic main event. I tell you what, a very grueling, very taxing performance by both guys.
Extremely technical fight.
If you're a fan of grappling, that was your fight. I tell you what, there were so many great transitions, submission attempts, ground and pound, elbows, anything and everything. You name it, they had it in that fight. All right, as we wait for the official judge's decision, Anthony, what would you say in that fight?
I would say it's 29-28 Gutierrez. I think that he controlled the first and the third rounds, did more damage on the ground in both of those rounds, spent more time on top in both of those rounds. So I think 2 rounds to 1 for Anthony Gutierrez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Henry Guerre scores this bout 29-28. Judge Brett Miller scores this bout 30-27. Judge Kevin Champion scores this bout 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, Anthony Gutierrez.
All right, Anthony picks up the decision victory, improving his record now to 10-3. Fantastic performance. Again, very grueling, very impressive grappling exchanges throughout that fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kansas City Fight Alliance, thanks you very much for coming out tonight. KCFA 28. Thanks to our sponsors, and please drive safely tonight, and have a good evening.
Can you stick around for a few minutes? Yeah, well, I just want to remember we're going to do a fight recap.
Yeah, I guess so. Where are we going to do that?
We'll do it right here. I just got to get cameras and stuff together. And clips. Guys, a lot of early finishes. Yeah. Well, I got some highlights.
Yes. Hey, I was just texting you, girlfriend.
How do we have the highlights here?
I was texting you.
How many is there? Like 5. Hey, Jen, you should go and throw some picks in that first round. We're coaching.
It's going to be like a couple minutes. I got to pull all those clips in and let them transcode them.
Whoa, fuck. You on it. When are you fighting again? Yes, sir. How are you?
I want it to be super informal. I'm not looking for anything like super formal or anything. Okay, so I'm waiting for. I think this is a highlight from Anthony's fight, and then there's one more. It'll be another Anthony highlight. So we'll have like 7 highlights, and it'll be. I think I got the double knockdown in there. We'll go through them real quick. They're 15 seconds apiece, so this is gonna be like 2 minutes. Pretty much started off as just like, fight. And just be like, you know what? We had 2 fights go past the first round.
I like it.
And hopefully, really my goal here is to just generate a little bit more traffic with it, create a little bit of personality with the page. So.
Yeah, you're doing great. I love everything you're doing.
It's just a matter of figuring out a way to make some money with it,
Definitely.
So I don't need this, I don't need this.